Alright, so this is the second type of camera that we have. This one's also Panasonic. It's one of the newer ones. I believe this is the 90. And we're going to go through what's on one side, what's on the other side, and how to set it up and everything. The very first thing you need to know is how to turn the camera on. Just like the other camera, that button is right here. You're going to have to push the gray button in, and then you pull it, you'll see the red light, and everything turns on. Now on this camera, it also has it has audio jacks on this side right here, two XLR jacks, and then if you needed to hook anything else up, you have some camera remote options there. If you wanted to put your headphones in, you would do that here, and we're going to monitor audio, so that's where your headphones go. Also, something to look at right quick, your other connections are HDMI, those kind of things are right here. So everything you need to hook up to this camera is going to be on the back for the most part. That moves up to give you access to the memory card slots right here. Battery goes in there. This is very important. You have two options. You have a play option and a record option. You always want to have it on the record option for that to work the right way. On this side, you have your zoom controls, and then you can hit this button to take a picture with the camera. It's not a very good picture, but it will take a screenshot for you. So let's turn this back around. Back down. Let's go to this side now. All right. So, like I said, this camera does have a screen. It's right here. You have to pull it out, and it flips around. And now we will turn this again, so that you can see some of the stuff. All right. So this one is a touch screen. So we'll go through all that stuff in just a second, but I want to talk about what the buttons do first so that we kind of get an idea about that. Okay, so very first thing, we're going to go top to bottom. These are your audio controls. This gives you more volume on each channel, channel 1, channel 2. It's covered in plastic so that you don't hit it inadvertently. And like on the other camera, how that was spread out across 4 controls, this is the same way, it's just laid out a little bit differently. You have the option for an internal mic, which is right here built into the camera on both channels, and then you have an option of picking 1 or 2 of the audio channels where your microphone will be plugged in. So that's what those are. This is the volume for that, and I'm going to close this back up. All right, so everything else is pretty intuitive. You've got your menu button here, and that's going to bring up the touch screen. You've got functions for certain things that you would use all the time, things like zebra and bars. You can adjust your counter, which is just going to be your time code, and reset that. So if you're trying to sync up a bunch of cameras, that's what you would use that for. Focus Assist zooms in to help you get focus on this camera, and those are what those buttons are. You can set things here. It's a user assignable buttons. This is your manual or automatic control, and that's what those buttons are. But like I said, pretty much everything works off of the touch screen on this one. All right, so let's turn that around and see what we've got. The very first thing that we want to do on this camera, I'm just going to hit the menu button and bring up the camera setup, record setup options. We're going to go to record setup. I just hit that, and right here, record format. I'm going to click that. It gives us some options, and they're all HD options. Normally, we're like with the other camera, we're either going to shoot in 1080p 24 or 1080p 30. It's already set to 1080p 24, so I'm hitting that, and I'm going to hit exit to get out of that. So the very next thing that we need to do is to try and look at the shutter speed to make sure that that matches the frames per second. Generally, the rule is, if you are shooting at 24 frames per second, you want your shutter speed to be set at 1/48. So double the FPS is the rule. Right here, it says what our shutter is at 1/50th. So I'm going to click on that, and it's going to give me an option to bring shutter up, and I did that. I can scroll through these. It's going to change how much light's in the camera, but it doesn't go to 1/48. So 1/50th is the closest, so that's what we're going to do. Okay? So I've got it there. I click out of that. I hit menu again. I hit exit. Now I'm pretty well ready to go with that. Now, there's a button here on the side that is display, and I can hit that, and it's going to take everything off of the screen. I can hit it again. It's going to bring everything back up. You can adjust in the menu how much or how little of that you want on your screen. Okay, I'm going to put it back there so we can see what that stuff does. But for the most part, on this particular camera, if there's something that you are interested in adjusting, you can hit it on the touch screen and something will come up about it, okay? That includes a histogram. So when I do that, now my histogram is up and that shows me what I'm looking at through the lens. When I put my hand in front of it, it changes what those controls are. On the other camera, it was laid out north to south. This is pretty much east to west, but once again, think of it similarly to a football field and try and keep everything between the 20s to make sure that you're not overexposed, something like that. Let's go ahead and click this again, and I'm going to turn the histogram off just by clicking on it, and I'm going to hit menu and then exit, and it goes back to the screen. All right, so our audio meters are down here on the bottom, just like on the other camera. It tells us what we're shooting here, how much, which card we're on, which is card 1, how much time we have left on that, our battery, all of that stuff. So everything else should be good. Now on this camera, we have a couple of options here. On the ring, it's set for, the ring is set for focus. We also have our zoom. And let's turn that off. All right. It can be as automatic or as manual as you want it to be. I'm going to turn the zebras on at 80%. Now we see over here on this white wall that those being at 80%, that's telling us, hey, we're getting pretty close to where our image is blown out. That's a good safety to leave on all the time. It won't show up on the footage, but that's what that does pretty much. And this is the zoom, so that's the same thing as me going in using this or this on this side. And then to record, you hit the red button, and it starts. You hit it again and it stops. One thing to keep in mind about this camera that is the most important thing about the 90 is you don't have the option of using the iCup and the LCD screen at the same time. It is either or, one or the other. They will show you the same thing, but with this screen out, this doesn't work. So if you wanted to use the iCup, and this guy will lie to you, it's good for using to get set up and that kind of thing, but if you're doing stuff like critical focus, you need to peek into here and make sure that you've got everything lined up the way that you want it to. So if I wanted to use the iCup, I would flip the screen, plug it back in, and now you're getting the information here. Okay? And that's pretty much it for the 90.